Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today as we look to examine the latest in restaurant technology, discuss some of the challenges it can help solve, and how to implement these solutions in your restaurants through the Cisco Advantage program.
Should I roll the intro, Chris?
You should roll the intro.
All right, we'll be back, folks. I hear, it's my phone. I was hearing background music. I was like, oh boy, what's going on? Anyways, over to you, Chris.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. My name's Chris. This is Jay, and welcome to the first ever edition of the Restaurant Tech Show brought to you by Cisco Foods. Jay, as you know, is the creator and many-time host of Cisco's Virtual Kitchen Media Network. And I myself have been working in restaurant tech for the past decade and am currently heading up partnerships at App8, one of the leaders in contact with dine-in and online ordering solutions for food service brands. I'd also like to take this time to welcome Javier Cadena to the show today.
Thank you, Chris and Jay, for having me. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Javier is the co-founder and CEO of Cheddar Suite, one of the hottest new restaurant tools on the market. We're going to kick things off by talking about some of the trends and newsworthy items affecting the restaurant scene, and then we'll have Javier share some of his vast expertise and show you how he's implemented this knowledge through Cheddar Suite. He'll also give you a quick demonstration of this new software, and then make sure you stick around to the end of the show, as we will have something fantastic to give away to our loyal Cisco viewers. Javier, you had some interesting points talking about the pandemic and how it's accelerated the move towards solutions like yours. Can you share a little bit about this?
Yes, yeah. So real quick here. So I've actually been in the restaurant industry. I'm third generation. Quick background, but I've seen it go from handwritten ledgers to cloud-based everything now. So I've been following, from our family since the 60s to where it's gone now. I've had a front row seat to tech being adopted by the restaurant industry.
Very interesting. And what have you seen recently? I mean, I think you guys are busier than ever right now with restaurants trying to come on board with your restaurant management software. And I think it's kind of accelerated with the pandemic. It's gone from being, something nice to have or something you implement for operational excellence, but now it's kind of becoming more required, not only for safety reasons, but also to keep you competitive. So what are some of the, what are some of the kind of challenges restaurants have been bringing to you in the last, the last few months or the last year?
When we started Cheddar Suite, it was like pulling teeth to get restaurant owners to adopt tech. It was like, okay, I've been doing this system for 20 years. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it alone. That conversation is out the door. Now restaurateurs are running to us and saying, look, I have rising costs in labor, in food, and everything. I mean, you name it. And the last frontier that they have to run to is tech to try and squeeze 1 or 2%. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to help restaurants, derive not by looking in the rearview mirror, but just, straight ahead and correcting as things happen in order to keep them, profitable.
Nice. And and some of the I'm curious what you've seen with some of these owners. I mean, I know I've kind of seen two trends. You have people kind of lagging behind on technology and trying to catch up. And then you also have restaurants that have implemented, say, multiple tools, but they're not exactly sure what insights they're getting out of it. And they've got this kind of paralysis through analysis piece. And I think you guys really touch on that as far as, making sure that all this information is brought together as insights and not just, data and noise. Can you kind of talk about what you've seen with some of the restaurants you've worked with?
Yeah, you know what? We get restaurants from all over the spectrum that understand tech or that have even adopted it within their restaurants. We get some that, they're still using old school cash registers. They're fearful of taking that leap even into the POS. But then we get people who have 5, 6, 7 different systems. So what we've learned to do is, get into a discovery period. It's right when we first instead of just going through a demo, here's what Cheddar Suite does. We spend a little time getting to know the restaurant owners, the managers, what their current software or needs are and how tech will help that. We don't even call our onboarders or trainers. They're customer success. They actually will follow the life of the restaurant. We don't hand off, to a different rep. We become pretty much consultants and live within your business to help you. And like you said, paralysis through analysis, that's every restaurant owner. You're being thrown, all of these different vendor costs and employee costs. And if you don't know how to dissect all that, or you're not looking at it on a day-to-day basis, you're pretty much money in the register, money out, and hopefully we're open. So the idea of Cheddar Suite is to help you, stay in business by acting and creating schedules and by doing food orders based on your needs, not based on, what you think, but real actual data.
Yeah, very interesting. I think one of the biggest trends too is that restaurants, their brand and that experience is really kind of extended past the front door. It's not about just once you enter a restaurant now. It's how the restaurant appears online. What are their ordering channels like? What's the delivery and takeout experience like? So we've seen a lot of this rise in trends. Cloud-based services like yourself and the POS systems and everything is making this information available faster than ever. What do you think is one of the kind of trends that that restaurants are going to come out of this with? Like, how do you see them kind of changing or evolving for the better?
Yeah, I see restaurants are starting to realize the whole ecosystem of technology. So there's POS, your point of sale meets RMS, which is your restaurant management software. That's going to create the full ecosystem. And what we found is there's software out there that say they're, the all-in-one. I don't know if that's reality for restaurant owners. There's a lot of software out there. And for me, I like to pick and choose what I like. I like to pick the POS system I like to pick the for Cheddar Suite, we bundle all of that into your POS, and we have, integrations into the top 30 POS systems out there. So your data is just getting dragged in. The future of it is that everything's just going to be pulled into, like Cheddar Suite. So you'll be able to live see your food costs, see your employee costs. Literally integrated into your QuickBooks, integrated into your vendors. That's the future. It is going to be an all-in-one, but it's just going to be taking all of this segmented information, pulling it into one and making it more efficient for the restaurant owner.
So I have a question. I just want to jump in here.
Yeah.
I have a few questions. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Do you see more restaurants like really paying attention to those numbers more today than they've ever figured out? Or is it because of the pandemic, or is this just the evolution now that we're seeing restaurants do this more?
Yeah, I think the people now that are in the restaurant industry are not only adopting tech, but they're literally growing up with a computer in their phone.
Good, yeah,
so
yeah.
That's where if the restaurant industry doesn't catch up and offer that tech that everyone lives with now, we're going to get left behind. And the ones that are capturing this are the enterprise level companies. You do have the McDonald's, Chipotle, Subways, where they will develop something like this. They'll spend, millions of dollars, but it's leaving the mom and pop 70% of the industry just hanging out there saying, okay, well, what's for me? They can go out there and they can find 5-6 pieces of software, but once again, it's not efficient. They're not, we're not tech people. We're not supposed to be in front of a computer dissecting where we're at. It needs to be a lot more concise, simpler numbers. Cheddar Suite every morning emails you a breakdown of your previous day. It's gonna just keep getting better once more of these companies come to the realization of, I need an open API. I need to give my restaurant, through whatever software they're using, their information at their fingertips.
I love it. You're fighting for Main Street, trying to give them the tools they need to,
I am. That's where my grandfather started. In the 60s, he started here in California. I was born into 50 restaurants, driving up and down. There was no tech. So literally driving up and down the coast with my dad, talking to managers to find out how the restaurants are going. That was the start of it. And I tried everything. Believe me, to get out of the restaurant industry. And I think even my parents, my first restaurant, they didn't help me with a penny. They were like, please fail. But I did great. I followed what the family had kind of taught me. What I realized is the tech was getting left behind. I even tried to adopt tech that exists out there, and there wasn't anything really specifically for me. It was either, way too dummy down or way too robust. I'm trying to find that sweet spot where, you can be tech savvy and it's going to give you all the information you want. But if you're not, there's simpler forms. You can create that custom dashboard to make it a lot simpler for you.
Well, I also think that when tech came out way back, when we started seeing tech come into our industry, it was so complicated. And it wasn't connect. It was almost like the chefs and restaurateurs. I remember meeting with many of them, and they would be like, "Love it, but where do I start?"
Yeah,
or it was so complicated that it actually created this. Forget it. I'll just keep it simple. I'll use the napkin or a piece of paper or whatever it is. Right? Like, don't get me into that space. But as that generation is leaving us, the millennials are running restaurants now. Yeah. They may have dad still in the corner, but technically they're running it. Like, is there another evolution that's coming up? Like, is there another shift
what's funny? Yeah, it's funny you say that. A lot of the restaurants that we're taking on now, it's the next generation. It's literally the daughter taking over the dad's 3 restaurants, and they get it. They're like, I don't even want to jump into this industry without this, because I understand tech more than I understand restaurants. And if I know tech can help me figure this out, so we're right there. We're at the forefront of navigating through what people want. Luckily, we're great partners with Cisco, and we've been partnered with Cisco US and Canada now. So, I mean, we're out there fighting for the restaurant industry, for the new generation coming in and literally taking feedback. And every Friday we end our week here, and it's a Q&A session with everyone in the office. Like, what did you learn talking to all the restaurants you talked to this week? What are they looking for? So we know it's evolving quickly, and and tech in itself evolves fast. So yeah, we're at the forefront of it. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. It is probably very complicated for the restaurants, but the next generation's asking for it and needing it. So we're just trying to meet their demands.
So I think that's one of the things I like most about your solution is your approach to data and how you provide those key insights. I mean, I've been in this industry and I've seen the trends of you need video analytics because you need to see where people are going. Oh, you need a dashboard because that's how you kind of compile all the information. And you try to use all these, but at the end of the day, the metrics haven't really changed that make your restaurant successful. And your tool does a great job. And I think what you're going to show everybody is how you can actually set your North Star metrics. And every day you can actually see how close you are. And you don't have to wait for that, weekly report. You don't have to wait for that, to compile everything to know whether or not you're on track. So I'm excited to kind of have you take through that.
Thank you. Yeah, really. I mean, the way it came about for me was I would get a P&L from my bookkeeper and it meant nothing to me. I mean, you're literally it's a month and a half behind. And so I just found out, hey, we got to run better. I need to know my numbers daily. This is just not doing me any favors. So yeah, I'm excited to show everyone this Cheddar Suite.
Awesome. So Chris, are we going to run a commercial?
Great.
So serious. You're so professional. Yeah, I know exactly. We can have fun too, Chris. Do you want to cue it? No, roll it for you.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
After these
messages
about what makes Cisco different. There we go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Our table is set and we have a seat just for you. At Cisco, we love what we do, and that is delivering success for our customers through industry-leading people, products, and solutions. Our team is the difference between good customer relationships and great ones. Your dedicated sales consultant is here to help you grow your business. They will connect you with the products, solutions, and insights you need to grow your profits, streamline your operations, and market your business. They'll offer you customized consultations with our chefs and industry specialists to answer your questions and inspire you. Our specialists can help with protein, fresh local produce, takeout and delivery solutions, and more. And if you simply need someone to answer a quick question, our Customer Connect team is just a phone call or chat message away. Cisco is at the heart of food and service and connecting the world to share food and care for one another. Join us for a seat at the table. Visit cisco.ca to learn more.
All right. Welcome
Did you like
back.
that, Chris?
That's great. Yeah, these are great commercials.
So I want to mention something just because I just want to jump in here quick because I'm just so excited about learning and be able to see here Cheddrsuite right away here. But I want to mention this because I think it applies to our industry as well. I got this text the other day, and this is relationship to having kids. And we're going to rephrase this, Chris, into the restaurant industry here in a second. But you can't raise your children as your parents raised you, because your parents raised you for a world that no longer exists. You might have seen that quote before.
Damn, that's deep.
Now we can rewrite that. You can't run your restaurant as your parents did, because your parents ran their restaurant in a world that doesn't exist anymore. And I truly believe that, right? I truly believe, because I've been through this. I remember like 15 years ago talking to restaurants about food costs, like literally food costs, not with the system or using data or technology, just literally, let's sit down and break out your food costs. And they were looking at me like I was crazy. And everyone knew that it was, I'm 30. It was like this magic number they read somewhere. And no one checked out. No one looked at their products. No one checked their inventory. I came from a company that did do that, but I didn't see it happening out in mom and pop restaurants or in the independent operators out there. Nowhere. So today, 15 years later, to hear companies and to hear what you guys are doing, from App 8 to Cheddar Suite, it is so exciting. But it's the world we live in today. It's not the one that I remember 15 years ago. And it's moving faster on the changes too.
I think something important to keep note of here, especially, with the, older generations, learning everything they have and applying it to the future. I think that what I've experienced, whether it's running a restaurant or performing marketing or building partnerships or just building a business, it's that, the methods of doing that don't really change, but the mediums change and the channels change. And that's where, they know how to run a successful restaurant, but now to compete at this level, you need to be using these different channels and these different mediums to, reach your audience. Before you could actually, you had a main street that everybody was walking on because that's where everything was. Well, now Main Street might be on Facebook or social media or, through these different, all these different platforms. So, I mean,
so this is how you're so right, Chris. And this is how I say to restaurants, because remember in the old days, it was like Ramsey used to do this like 5-mile radius, and this is your competition. You know what your competition is today? Is this thumb, and it's on a third-party delivery. And I can see 80 restaurants by just flicking my thumb up and going like this now. And your competitiveness field is so strong today that you need to be doing all these things properly or you're done.
Yeah, before restaurateurs, so when my grandfather started, they had a 30+% profit margin. I mean, my dad that's why there wasn't so much
third generation.
Yeah, I mean, he told me I would buy a bag of beans, for whatever, $15, a sack of it, and feed 1,000 plates. I mean, it's that my dad was in the 20s. Now, if you're talking to a restaurant making 12%, they're doing great. So they didn't have.
Well, if they're doing that.
If they're doing that.
If they're doing that.
Right? So now we're being forced to take on another form of tracking this kind of stuff. And before, we didn't have the time to manually. I used to do it. I used to spend my Fridays whiteboarding everything that Cheddrsuite does in order to even make sense if I was making money or not. That's when I realized, how is this industry so huge, and we don't even know at the end of the day if I made money or not.
That is a great way to segue into a solution like yours. I think you've got a solution for that. Javier, did you want to talk a little bit more about Cheddrsuite then, and how you guys built the solution, why you built it? We think we know why you built it, which is great. But how does it work, and how can these restaurateurs benefit from it?
Yeah, so I mean, what we did is we started as a scheduling software. We quickly realized scheduling is doing nothing. Everybody creates their schedule, and that's fine. We can find out their pay. So we started adding like trade boards and, HR component to it, and inventory and everything else a restaurant does need. And then we tapped into 30% of, the top 30 POS systems out there to give you the full ecosystem, and our idea is to look at things in real time. as you create your schedule, have budgets set. There's a biz goals section in Cheddar Suite that you create and set your budgets. So when you're creating your schedule, you know exactly how much money you have allocated that week to go towards creating that schedule. When you're doing your food orders, same thing. You know when you're hitting what you should be spending on food and when you're going over. So at least it's giving the restaurant owners a rule of thumb in order to stay in line of what the money they're bringing in and the money they're spending, to hopefully, if everything is done right, they're making that percentage, in their business goals that they want as profit. Simplest way, that's it. We're trying to give you peace of mind. We're trying to get restaurant owners going back to the restaurant and doing what they love to do, why they got into it, not sit in front of a computer, but this is something that's needed. So we're trying to make it as simple for the restaurant owners to stay in business and succeed, really.
Yeah, that actually brings up a really good topic that I know we discussed earlier, before the show is you're trying to give owners back time. And I think that, one of the key differences for full service restaurants, something that the way they can really differentiate themselves now is all about that hospitality and that experience. It's so convenient now. You can order from your favorite restaurants from the comfort of your own home. So you really need to give people that reason to get out to the restaurant and really enjoy themselves. And unfortunately, as you said, a lot of owners are spending their time, gathering all this, data, traveling to different locations. They're in the back room when really what they, would be ideal is if you could give them that peace of mind that they know their metrics, they know their numbers, and they can actually spend that time out with the guests on the floor. They can spend it with their staff and really, really focus on hospitality. So, giving owners back that time, I think, is key. And one of the things we discussed too is owners have a hard time valuing their own time when it comes to looking at costs and things like that. They would rather, take care of things themselves. So how are some of the ways that you actually give owners back that time and take away some of the, manual tasks that they normally have to do so that they can be, walking that floor and shaking hands and kissing?
Yeah. No, Chris, you totally hit it dead on. I get it. I didn't take a whole year off from one of my restaurants when I opened it up. And I remember my dad was like, "You're crazy. You have to take some time off." You just get stuck in the rut, and it's your passion, but at the same time, you need to get out. You need to take a little time for yourself to come back and really change your business and look at it completely different. Cheddar Suite can do little things to help give people that, time back. I had one just quick example. Lady called me and she goes, "You know what, how Cheddar Suite's changed me is I used to have to go in there and, find out what was missing to go to run to the store that next morning. Now Cheddar Suite every morning sends me an email, and the previous night the manager's logged in the items I need to stop by and by the store and get. It's communication. It puts all your team, at the forefront together, seeing transparency, seeing what your restaurant's doing. I'd love to show.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick break here from another note from our wonderful sponsors, and then we'll jump into a quick demo and talk about that fantastic giveaway we have for the end of the show.
Perfect.
At Lynch Foods, we're passionate about flavor. As a Canadian custom manufacturer, we've been developing high-quality products for our customers for over 80 years. Sauces, dressings, gravy and soup mixes, toppings and syrups for ice cream and milkshakes, all in packaging ranging from individual portions to retail and bulk formats. For food service, healthcare, or as industrial ingredients, our processing expertise, innovation kitchen, and research and development team partner to create and provide solutions. Our excellent customer service, world-class certified food safety standards, and experienced nationwide sales force can support your business locally, be a trusted partner, and inspire endless possibilities.
Man, that last rib looked good, eh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I need to eat more before the show now because every time I
try doing a food show for 3 hours.
It looks so good.
Yeah, try doing a food show for 3 hours.
I know, Jay. Those are dangerous.
Those are dangerous. I just want to mention also, just as we get into this demo here, and I'm excited to see this. It's the other things also, just this evolution. I'm really interest in this evolution, because that's why we built this SVK network, our social media network right now for food service, is really the ability to get out, opposed to having people read stuff or whatever it is bringing this in the most easiest, fastest fashion you can, enjoying our content like today's show on your phone or iPad or wherever it is. It's this evolution, right? So I totally get this whole, like, I always say you kind of like walk the road as you pave it, right? That's what I feel like we're doing every day with their SVK network, right? But anyways, I just wanted to mention that I totally get it, and I'm excited about this demo. Let's get into it.
Awesome. Let me share here. If I can share
the technology part, the sharing of the screen.
Yeah, this is.
I saw a shirt the other day. It said, "You're on mute." I love that shirt.
That's great. Okay, can you see the Cheddar Suite? Screen here. So Cheddar Suite, it's SaaS based. It's cloud based. It's SaaS model, so it's just month to month. And really, we're here to help your business. So we don't do contracts. I know I get a lot of pushback, to sign contracts. I get why, but that's not what I'm here to do. We're here to help the restaurants, succeed. If we're not doing that for you, we will help you and try and find what, will help you. So this right here is how you just log in. You can use any device to log into Cheddar Suite. If you see over here on your left, this is everything that comes with Cheddar Suite. You're already doing this. Yeah, everything you see here on the left, you're doing it in one form or another, whether it's texting, Post-its, Excel sheets you've created, some shared document. We get it all. And so this right here is your dashboard. You can customize this, and it's different for every single employee, their view of what you can access, what they can see, what they can't see. But it gives you a little bit of information of everything going on over here. So there is like a log. I don't know if you remember the shift-to-shift communication, like Redbook. That's right here. We've added a lot of cool features with all of our modules like texting. We understand everyone has a phone in their pocket, so it's just not emailing notifications. Now it's texting. We also understand onboarding, staffing issues, everything going on right now. We've set triggers, like even in our calendar, to say, hey, place wine order. Your manager leaves, your restaurant's not leaving with them. You set these things one time in place, and now guess what? You hire a new bartender, they're going to get text reminded if they're bartending that day to place the food, the wine order. It's that simple. What we're trying to do is help the industry in right now it's onboarding, it's staffing. How can we make that simpler? Right here is your staff section. You can do things like reviews and write-ups. I mean, you send it out for a write-up, it's going to come back signed. You can do things like see what docs and quizzes this employee has paid attention to. And I'll show you this section.
That's cool.
It's pretty powerful. This is DocuSign meets Dropbox. You create folders. Now you just upload them right out of your laptop and say, you know what? I want a signature on this item. Click the box.
Yeah, we talked about this. I think we talked about this yesterday too. I mean, staffing turnover is huge right now. A lot of restaurants are hiring, and you have all your training online, all the documents. And as you mentioned, I mean, if your general manager wins the lottery tomorrow, they're not leaving with all this knowledge, right? It's systematic, it's consistent. Whoever comes in, they get the same experience, and you're starting to run your restaurants like those large enterprise companies do, right? It's all systematic. It's all about repeating a process that's proven to work.
Yeah, I started seeing managers, I started trying to figure out, why is the restaurant literally just crumbling when that manager leaves? I just hired one just as good or better, but then you realize all the systems they're walking out with, all the knowledge that they've had over the last, however long year. And you need to translate that into something like Cheddrsuite. It needs to live here. Not only that, I've had restaurant owners sign up for Cheddrsuite, put everything in here, and then they turn around, they sell their business for a lot more value because now they're selling it with systems. They're not selling liabilities of old equipment and a lease. They're selling an actual business. So there's a lot of benefits to this. I mean, it keeps your team, together. So the one thing I find exciting is biz goals. This is where we come in, we unlock this and say, okay, what type of business are you? What category do you fall under? And let's set some real goals.
We want. Sorry, but I gotta jump in here because this is brilliant.
It's massive.
Let me because this is so. Oh man.
Yeah. So now the restaurant owner
goes,
okay, if we're hitting all these and I lock it, we're looking at a 12% profit. But these numbers don't just live here. We're taking these numbers and we're translating it over to your budget. So
okay, so this isn't brilliant. I gotta jump in here because I had this vision of this. This is great. This is why we're working together.
Yeah.
This is to me a restaurant Fitbit.
Yes.
Right. This is what it is for everyone's listening out there, is that all those are your metrics, right? So I want to lose X amount of weight. This is what I got to do to get there. And this is exactly what this is. This is so good.
Jay, I love how you said that. I'm using that as a tagline now.
There you go.
I love it. Yeah.
It cuts through all the noise. You have
does.
your metrics, and then you can very quickly identify which department is either lagging or jumping ahead. And you can adjust. It's on the fly, and that's what's going to make Main Street competitive.
Can you go to the food cost part? Let's just go to the food cost part, like that one down there. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I unlock it and I just go, okay, you know, my COGS here, my cost of goods, I need to go up to 36. Now I'm at 6%. So what you can do is as you see these numbers coming through, you can come back through and adjust them on here and then look at what you're really making. This is the aha moment where managers go, okay, wow, I do have a huge responsibility. If I'm doing everything right, I'm barely squeaking by on making this company money. Yeah. And these don't just live here. So these do translate over to your schedule when you're creating your schedule. So now as you build this up, the system knows how much each employee is making, how many hours are scheduled for the day. It'll even give you analytics to the day. And then it gives you a cost. It goes, okay, now you're already at 6,000, your budget 13. So keep going. But if you get to Sunday and you're already over, then you're not, in line. And this helps restaurant owners because they're not doing everything. You have managers that take responsibilities, but they're also not owning what they're bringing to the bottom line unless they have a tool like this.
So I have to say something here because this is just so good. Good show, by the way, Chris. This is perfect because I think the thing is, my phone went off, is there's so many things that we can do to help you get to those percentages that you want, right? Like I know at Cisco, and I don't want to, plug us too much and sound like an info commercial, but we have an amazing team and resources out there to help people to achieve those, right? We have chefs, we have people that do menus, we have people like yourselves on our Advantage program to help everything to help our customers get those percentages or hit those goals that you put in there. And frankly, we need everyone using them. They're just a valuable resource out there that doesn't cost anything as a partner with Cisco. So people need to be using these things. I'm just blown away. I literally have this vision in my head, the restaurant Fitbit.
I love it because restaurateurs are already doing this, except all that information is just getting thrown out and not.
And they're also they set a goal, but how do they get there? How do they achieve that goal? Right? Like
how much time do they spend on this just to build that dashboard that they can access whenever they want? Like I'm assuming that you're giving them back hours in a week. If they're doing it real time.
Okay, so let me get into the pricing because this is what's amazing. With Cisco, we've done this deal where we're going to give away, and I'll get into what we're giving away, but if you're just a Cisco customer and you need to get started in tech because you've never used tech, let's get you started for free. I guarantee you're not going to stay just doing scheduling. You're going to see other things that Cheddar Suite does, and you're going to want to roll up to the Plus plan for $49. But if you want to integrate into your POS and you want full end-to-end, we'll do it for $89 a month. Like I said, no contracts. And the best way to reach out to get a demo is just going to cheddarsuite.com and filling out that. And just filling out request a demo. And just reach out to Derek and we'll get you in and we will show you everything and we'll do the whole discovery to figure out, what you're using. But what we've done with, thanks to Jay, and Cisco Canada, we're giving away 1,500 licenses to Cisco Canada restaurants. And those 1,500 licenses, they're everything end to end. If your POS connects for 6 months, you're going to use Cheddar Suite for free. We want you to just see what it will do. We want you to see how it will transform your restaurant, and hopefully you get some time off in between there. And you know, and it does want to stay. I mean, we're all burnt with everything going on, but people adopt this, people move into this next generation. Your staff's going to love you. You're going to love yourself and your business. I mean, let's get back into that. So all I can say is if you could reach out and request a demo, you know, we'll show you what Cheddar Suite has to offer. And for $49 or $89, I guarantee you, if you're using one piece of software that we do, and you come over to Cheddar Suite, you're going to save money, or you're going to get more features.
I gotta say, I mean, restaurants, you need to work with this man and work with this company. I mean, not only is, you know, this man loves restaurants, he loves Main Street. 1,500 free licenses is amazing. And honestly, looking at all the different solutions in tech right now, to pay $49 or $89 for a solution that you're going to get that return the first time, likely the first time that you use the software and set up your reports. Yep. I mean, this is fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. Just mention, you know, the Cisco Canada and that you've heard it here on the show, and we'll put you through. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by that ability to set your goals. And,
yeah. And then I know we don't have a lot of time here, but that's just the start of it. I mean, there is amazing stuff that Cheddar Suite, you know, does for restaurant owners. And like for the price, like I said, we have chains of restaurants like in Los Angeles that will only use it for one thing, even just shift-to-shift communication. They're saving money on $49 using it for that, and you know, other than any other competitor. So thank you, Elias. Appreciate it.
Exactly. Awesome stuff. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, no, that's great. I just want to say, Javier, that's thanks a lot for joining us today. I think that's everything we wanted to cover. Awesome insights, awesome product, awesome company. Very excited to see this roll out. I think the Cisco members are really going to, hopefully they all take advantage of this free licenses, and I think they're really going to benefit from it. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming. Thanks for having me, Jay. Had a lot of fun today. Hopefully.
Thank you for co-hosting today, and I just thank you again. I'm super excited about this partnership we have with Cheddar Suite and Cisco Canada up here, and I'm speechless right now seeing that, because it literally, that was I'll show you slides from like 10 years ago. I had that vision.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I had it 10 years ago, but I've just seen restaurant owners. The crazy thing is I would have thought, you know, people would have already, some software company, or, you know, they would already have these tools. They don't. The enterprise, the big companies do. It's mom and pop who's going to go to bat for them and who's going to create this. Well, I mean, you know, we're here. So please reach out. And if we can help you, then that's great.
I love it. What an awesome Advantage partner. Good find, Jay. And, if you like Cheddar Suite, check out all the other companies on the Cisco Advantage program for all the different restaurant needs.
You can go to our website right there.
Go to our website, cisco.ca. I think it's even /Cisco Advantage to get directly to the programs. And I think that's it for today. Jay, we have a nice outro video to roll.
Yes, we do. Thanks again, Chris.
Awesome. Thanks,
everyone else. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye.